again, welcome to today's attempt at the TimeGuessr puzzle. This is the game that tests your history knowledge and your geography knowledge. We'll be given a series of photos like this one. For each one we have to say where in the world was it taken, but we also have to say when in history was it taken. So 2 elements, and of course you get more points the closer you are on the map and on the timeline. I usually aim for about 2/3 to 3/4. Neither geography nor history is really my strong point, but we'll see how we get on. And of course, feel free to play along at home and leave your guesses in the comments. Now, we're starting in Malaysia. Clearly that is the Malaysian flag. This is in memory of the plane that crashed a year or two ago. I don't know exactly when it was though, because time is an illusion really. Time just goes so fast, you lose track. At least we know it's in Malaysia, so as long as I can find it, we'll zoom in to Kuala Lumpur. There we go. I mean, it definitely wasn't this year, so the question is, was it 23 or 24? I really can't remember. Surely it wasn't more than 18 months ago, so we'll try 24. I was 2014? I was thinking of a completely different air crash, apparently. There's too many air crashes, sadly. Anyway, at least we got the location right, and we weren't a million miles off. I mean, 10 years. That is more than I would have liked. But we got the 3/4 that I said I aimed for, roughly. So, you know, not a completely terrible start, but yeah, I feel like I should have done better on that one, because there might be more difficult ones to come. What are we doing here? Kungsgatan. Don't know when that is. Or where that is, rather. I was going to say, looking at the colours, it looks like Kazakhstan or something like that. Don't know why blue and yellow made me think Kazakhstan. Really, it should have made me think Ukraine, shouldn't it? But, I mean, maybe it was just the K and the TAN ending that made me think Kazakhstan. Anyway, I'm less confident that it's in Kazakhstan now. This looks a bit more European. That's just the name of the road. That's not helpful. It would have been helpful to see a road sign. Gulin's Pepita. This is where being an uneducated British person that doesn't speak any foreign languages really doesn't help. What is this thing? I do not know. I'm going to have to go some random place in Eastern Europe, aren't I, if I can't work out. Trouble is, score could easily be Scandinavia. Is Scandinavia more likely than Eastern Europe? Victoria, Thorkild, Danfriesor. Okay, I think I've persuaded myself to go for Scandinavia rather than Eastern Europe. Trouble is, it could be Iceland. What year do we think this is? It looks not that old. That is a pretty old car though. But it's not a black and white photo. Dress sense isn't ridiculously old. I think let's go 96. And let's go Stockholm, because I'm torn between going further west towards Iceland or further east towards Riga or Helsinki. So I think let's just go for something that's vaguely in the middle of Scandinavia. Oh, it's Gothenburg. Okay, so I was in the right country, but it was 1977. A little bit earlier than I thought. I thought 80s or 90s. It was a tiny bit earlier than that. A little bit annoying to be so far off. Or what's next? What on earth is going on here? Somebody is ironing a newspaper, something they used to do in posh households all the time, so that the ink didn't rub off on the white gloves of the Lord of the Manor. What does this say? Britain is to forge Mandela's new army. Interesting. I mean, I've got no idea what's going on in this photo or who any of these people are. I feel like I should know who she is. And he looks vaguely familiar as well. So does he, maybe, but they could just be any other white men, really. I don't know. I think I've got to assume that it's Britain. And if it's Mandela, it's probably going to be the 90s. But then I thought the previous one was the 90s. We'll try 95 and we'll try London. And I'll hope that I'm vaguely close on both. It was London in 1994. Student butlers observing a demonstration on how to properly iron a newspaper. There we go. So I can forgive myself for not recognising any of the people. And I was actually very close on the year and the location. Finally, we've got one relatively good score. Right, what's going on here? This is surely going to be Greece, Cyprus, Turkey, that sort of region. Presumably Greece. I mean, that does say Cyprus, though. Could be Cypriot Airlines, that's the problem. What do any of these signs say? I don't know. What does this sign say? Oh dear. Dromia? Pesadromia? I don't even know where that is. I don't even know if I read it correctly. I still don't know if this is Greece or Cyprus. What's going on up here? Don't know. I mean, this is another one that looks like it could be 90s. It's probably a little bit more recent than that. Do any of them have smartphones? Are they taking photos? That's a camcorder. That's not that modern technology, really. It's not going to be earlier than the 90s, so surely. Let's go 2004. Now, do I go Greece or Cyprus? Do I think this is Cyprus Airlines in Greece? Or are we just on Cyprus? I suppose it's not really worth worrying about because they're actually relatively close to each other. We'll go Limassol, even though part of me... No, let's just go Nicosia because at least it is the capital. Part of me thinks it's more likely to be Greece, but it definitely does say Cyprus there, so we'll override my gut and go for Cyprus. It was Cyprus, and I got the year spot on. Wow. Right, after the relatively bad first two, we've had two really good ones. So number 5 is probably going to be a disaster. Oh, and it is because it's a really difficult looking black and white one. Right, Perfumes Deluxo. I mean, that sounds Spanish, but it could be Portuguese, it could be Spain or Portugal, or it could be Latin America. I mean, Para Acutis Agua Branca Neval. Is that just something around? I mean, that's water, surely, and that's branch, naval branch. Don't know why you need to specify that the naval branch is in water, so probably I've mistranslated it. Anyway, Nobre Bilhares Entrada. That is entrance, but that doesn't help. Well, it does help because it means it's Spanish, which means it's probably not Brazil or Portugal, but it still could be Spain or Mexico. What is this flag? This is not the flag of Spain or Mexico. That's just the American flag, isn't it? Very difficult to tell, given that it's not unfurled. What's going on? I mean, I suppose it could be in a Spanish-speaking region of America. Or it could be the Liberian flag. I don't know. It's very difficult when it's not unfurled. Camisario Progresso. I mean, it's something Spanish, isn't it? This is going to be a disaster. I'm glad I'm already over 30,000 points. So even if I get 0 for this, it's not going to be totally useless. I don't know. This photo isn't good enough quality. It looks like JFK, but I don't think it is. Okay, when do I think this was? 55. I don't know. I don't think it looks old enough to be pre-war, but it does look pretty old. And I'm going to try Mexico just in case. It could be like New Orleans or some other Spanish-speaking region of America. So that's why I'm going for Mexico rather than Spain, because at least hopefully I'll be in the right hemisphere and we'll get right continent, I should say, and get some points. Oh, it was Brazil after all that, so that means it probably was Portuguese rather than Spanish. That's frustrating. At least I was vaguely on the right landmass. It was 1922. Wow, that is my worst ever score for a question. 33 years off. It was so much earlier than I thought. I mean, it's so difficult to tell. There were no cars. Maybe that should have been a clue. But the fact that there were no cars meant I couldn't tell from the cars how old they were. I feel like I deserve more than 12 points for location, though. I was on the right landmass. America is just so big. Anyway, that's a bit of a disastrous way to end. I knew it was going to be when the first four were so good. 32,000, 64%. We haven't quite hit the 2/3 mark, and definitely not the 3/4 mark. But, I mean, we were well on course until that last one. So, I got 4 out of 5 half decently. But a disastrous end. That's a shame. Let me know if you did better. Certainly you will have done on that last one. That is TimeGuessr. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.